Before the campaign got underway, and certainly once it started, there was a huge amount of talk of Labour heartlands around the country turning blue. Our chief correspondent, Matthew Price, is in one of those heartlands in the Midlands for us now. Matthew, good morning to you.
Good morning, John, from Wolverhampton. I'm at the Zaun Fencing factory where life goes on, of course. They're working this morning on a big order. In this town, Wolverhampton, there are 3 constituencies and all 3 remained Labour, though the Conservatives did increase their share of the vote more than Labour in 2 of those constituencies. One popular narrative in the campaign was that working class voters in places like this that had voted to leave the European Union in last year's referendum were going to abandon Labour and vote Conservative. Well, it didn't happen here, nor did it happen across the Midlands and the North, as many had thought it could. So the question is why? Well, there are, of course, many threads to the answer. The youth turnout, of course, we were touching on a little bit earlier. Policies as well, spending on education, on the NHS. Was this the anti-austerity vote taking place? It also seems, talking to people here, that the campaign itself changed the minds of some voters who initially toyed with voting Conservative for the first time. Take a listen to one of the workers on the shop floor here, a man called Jordan.
I voted for Labour, and I was actually considering voting for the Conservatives, but there were just too many policies on their manifesto I just didn't agree with.
What sort of policies?
I'm an animal lover. I didn't agree with the way Theresa May wants to legalise the fox hunting.
Take me back a couple of months when Theresa May first called the election. Were you at that point thinking maybe you'd vote Conservative?
Yeah, because she struck me as a woman that, will get results and she'll do what needs to be done. But then just as a couple of days, weeks, months went by, I just thought to myself, no, not Conservatives. It's going to have to be Labour for me.
There's a machine here helping to make another few fence panels. Zaun Fencing provides, I guess you could say, strong and stable security, and Alistair Henman is its owner and managing director.
The government's reason for calling the election seemed sensible at the time. They needed a strong mandate. What the country really needs at the moment is some stability whilst it goes through the negotiations.
We haven't got it, have we?
No, we haven't got it now. So I think this is going to weaken our position, and the country actually ultimately hasn't got what it needed, which is a strong position in these negotiations, which, like it or not, are going to be the principal driver over the next 5 years. We needed, I don't like to sound like the Conservatives, but we did need some stability in these negotiations.
There's a forklift truck outside just loading up a flatbed truck with a consignment heading off to the Middle East. And Matt is driving the forklift truck.
I voted Labour. I don't particularly like Coburn, whatever his name is. I don't like him, so he's going to have to go and get somebody else in. But Theresa May, I think, with what's happened recently over the last few weeks with the terrorist attacks and everything else, I think really that's just finished her off.
Why?
She hasn't been decisive. She hasn't decided what she's going to do. Action needs to be taken. Immigrants need to be sorted. Things need to be done, and she's not addressed it.
And you think that exposed her and her weaknesses?
Oh, well, definitely, yeah. Well, let's face it, she's cut the police force down to God knows what. You know what I mean? So she needs to go, unfortunately. But,
well, you might get your wish now.
Oh, definitely. Let's hope so.
Matthew Price reporting there. Now, in New